Hey Scorpio, welcome to June. So Scorpio, you went through a change back in November when your ruling planet Pluto, your original ruler, changed signs. Okay, so you're adapting to that. Now your original ruler, so Pluto's the modern day ruler, Mars is the original ruler. Mars is going to be changing signs this month. So it's been hanging out in Leo for a while, and on June 17th it's going to move into Virgo. So anytime your ruling planet makes a change, it's a big change for you. Now, when we get Mars into Virgo, Virgo's all about analyzing and details and being of service and finding that fine line between giving and overgiving. So these are going to be themes for you as we move through the month of June, especially after the 17th. Now, you're going to have an opposition. Right across from you is the sign Taurus. It always is. And we have Venus hanging out there in its own sign of Taurus. Such a beautiful, beautiful placement. It will be there from June 6th until July 4th. So this is going to be opposite you. So it's going to be a lot of Venusian energy. So if you're looking for love, you're looking for relationships, it's going to be there. And if you've been ignoring your relationship, especially the one with yourself, it's going to be in your face this month because an opposition is where both sides want something. And Venus wants to be seen, to be felt, to be loved, and to enjoy the finer things of life. Okay, I think of Venus in June. I think of a beautiful garden and beautiful meals and taking time out to savor those kind of things. So if you haven't been making time for those kind of things, this is going to be the month where you're going to want to change that. So Venus will be across from you from June 6th until July 4th. This is a great time financially. This can bring in good things. Remember, Uranus, the oh wow planet, is also hanging out in Taurus, almost done with its time there. And so this can bring in things suddenly. So this could be financially very positive, and love-wise, it could bring in new people. All right, so let's enjoy this opposition. But oppositions, you do need to tend to it, negotiate, and compromise, okay, especially in your relationships. Now, because you're a water sign, you're going to be trining, positive aspect, all the planets that are moving into Cancer. So remember, we have the sun moving into Cancer this month on June 20th, leaving the sign of Gemini. It will be there till July 22nd. We also have Mercury, the planet of communication, entering the watery sign of Cancer. This is a psychic placement. On June 8th, this happens, and this is a great time to rest and relax and nurture. I've been talking about great time to go to therapy and great time to write poetry. So this is going to be trining you. It's very psychic placement when Mercury's in a water sign. So you're already naturally psychic, Scorpio, and now it's going to be heightened even more. So trust feeling, know that intuition, a lot of people just think it's in your belly. It can be anywhere in your body, okay? And pay attention to it. Doesn't always line up with logic. Keep a notebook, write things down. Now Jupiter, blessed Jupiter, is entering the sign of Cancer on June 9th. Mark your calendar for June 24th and 25th. I'd say to the 26th. In that period, Jupiter's going to be Cazimi, the sun, which is a new term to me. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. But it's when Jupiter and the sun are at the same degree. And it's considered the luckiest time because Jupiter is in its highest and best placement when it's in Cancer. So Jupiter brings us luck, blessings, expansion. It's a very spiritual planet, and it rules travel. Okay, so enjoy, put stars on your calendar, highlight those days, and use that time wisely. Now, we have a new moon in Cancer this month on the 25th, and that's also going to be trining you. And we know new moons are about making wishes, or I like to say, placing your order. So make sure to do so, and think big because Jupiter's involved. Now, we do have a square going on with Mars in the fixed sign of Leo. So remember, we were saying that Mars is going to change signs on the 17th. But until then, because Leo is a fixed sign and you are a fixed sign, Scorpio, you make a 90-degree angle. So you're going to have to not push too hard for what you want. Make sure you're considering others, and it'll be a little smoother when it moves into Virgo. Now, you also have a square with Pluto, which is your ruling planet, and that's going to be going on for a long time, so you're just going to have to get used to that one, okay? But changes that need to be made are going to be really visible to you, so you may come up through feeling first, but Pluto doesn't mess around, and you're going to be able to see the signs of what needs to change. It's going to help keep you in check. Okay, so I wrote down feel, be kind to yourself, and let your guard down a little bit, because your intuition's so high, you're going to be able to sense if something's off. Okay, so big month for you, Scorpio. Even though there's no planets in your sign, it's still a lot of activity going on, and there's a lot of harmony with those Cancer planets. Now, let's pull a few cards for you. I haven't looked at any of these yet. This is the Morgan Greer deck. Got a card from here. Working with my favorite new deck, the Magical Hours Tarot. We just got this in Kent. I really highly recommend it. I have just taken with the pictures. Okay, now we have an oracle for you from the Queen of the Moon Oracle. Let's see what you need to know here, Scorpio. So your first card here is the Ace of Pentacles, and look how pretty that is. I love the archway. Looks like I'm not sure if that's supposed to be water down there. I guess so. But it looks gorgeous, an archway to the beach. And this is joyful. Aces are lucky to me, and it's something new, and Pentacles is something of value. Okay, so maybe you'll be starting a new job. Maybe money will be showing up in a new way. Or maybe you're just going to take some time out to just savor and enjoy the summer. Okay, Ace of Pentacles, never sad to see an ace. See, our next card is the Three of Wands. And it has more vacation vibes, right? She looks like she's snorkeling without the gear. And Three of Wands is a card of adventure, thinking about where you want to go, what you want to do. Fun cards. Third card is the Knight of Cups. I love that this Knight of Cups is a woman. This is a night of emotions, emotional satisfaction. Knights are king. I like that her cup is sprouting flowers there. And there's a lot of romantic vibes, okay? So, I would savor the simple things like the nature, more underwater nature, swimming, feeling free. Remember, water clears you, Scorpio, because you are a water sign. And I always recommend water signs to use water to clear themselves. A lot of people use sage or selenite or whatever they use, but I find water works so well for us water signs. So Knight of Cups is a romantic, and there's a lot of love vibes, a lot of relationship vibes with the Venus right across from you, okay? So show up in your relationships. Bring some romance into it. If you're not in a relationship, show up and actively get out there and meet people. Have some fun. Get out in nature. Now, Oracle is the one that's on the cover of the box, the Sovereignty card. It says Queen of the Moon, Sovereignty. And that is gorgeous. And this is the Queen of the Moon Oracle. So let's see what the Queen of the Moon card has to say for you. I mean, it looks powerful there. She's the Queen of the Moon, Sovereignty. You have sovereignty over your own life. Act with grace and confidence. You have the ability to unite disparate people and views should you choose to do so. The buck stops with you. You are powerful. Act like it. I reign over my own realm. Goddesses of the moon are one of the oldest kinds of feminine divine and features in mythologies from almost every corner of the globe. From Diana of ancient Rome and the Greek Artemis to the Semitic Astarte, I don't know how to say that, and Hina from Polynesia. The link with the feminine divine and the lunar planet and cycles is a strong one. These goddesses in all their myriad of forms were extremely powerful and demonstrated to women that they naturally had power as well. We should strive to be the powerful queens of our own domain. Women especially have been socialized to defer, to keep small, to be quiet, and to hold a very twisted kind of service that borders on servitude. While in many first world countries, women choose to be what they wish to be on paper, women still experience inequality in countries and areas such as wage disparity and an imbalance of the number of women in government or in a high-level board positions. However, what has been accepted in the past is not what will be accepted in the future. A new queendom is coming. How cool is that? So we must, as any queen would, set boundaries to protect over queendom and these who are under our protection. That does not mean we become cruel rulers. We should always aim for benevolence, fairness, and great love for all, as well as ourselves. It does not mean we have to push against those who do not respect our line in the sand. Oh, sorry, it says it does mean that we may have to push against those who do not respect our line in the sand. Interesting. You got two kind of sand references here with the beach and the underwater scene. It's recommending the metal platinum for you. And I love the word queendom. I don't think I've ever heard that word before, queendom. So also I like right next to this where traditionally the Knight of Cups would be a man. So we see that you're taking a prominent position, you're taking your power. Even if you're a man listening to this is it being in touch with your feminine energy, your creative energy. There's a lot of joy here for you, Scorpio. Now, let's pull one more card because I really like to ask the cards the question. I'm going to use my favorite deck here. What is the most important thing here that I need to tell Scorpio? And the Magician shows up. And look at this. It's a woman magician. And she's very covered in her native garb. And she's holding the cup of satisfaction. And this is, the Magician has a couple different associations. Like I learned it as Scorpio and that it was watery and that the Magician is the alchemist that can make anything happen. And some schools of thought teach it as Gemini, and also the shadow side of the Magician can be a trickster. Okay. But I see a woman in her full power, in her native garb, in her true beauty. And so just be your true self here, Gemini or Scorpio. This is your time. This is powerful. Your intuition is going to be stronger than ever. Make what you want out of it. You can make your dreams come true. This Ace of Pentacles to me always feels like my dream card. And so you've got a lot going on, a lot of power. And sometimes when things are watery and powerful like this, it can get, the shadow side of it can be emotional. That may come up. But it's okay, okay? Keep moving forward. Strong emotions and sensitivity is the shadow side of being an empath. Now, let's go week by week here, see what we need to know. And I am using my June calendar here and my little Everyday Witch minis. And we're going to go into this calendar and see what you need to know each week here. We're calling it 5 weeks this month. And let's see. Ooh, that one wants to have 2. All right, week 1, the 1st through the 7th, you've got the 8 of Swords here, caught up in your mind, thinking you're stuck when really you're free. Remember how much free energy came up here. Relieve your mind. I would get into some water. Up here in Connecticut, we should be swimming by June. So get out there, clear yourself up. Remember that you're free. Week 2, 8th through 14th, you've got the Star card. Talking about hopes and dreams, this is a card of your hopes and dreams. This is an Aquarian card. I love that she looks like she's in a wedding dress. She's been purified. Some things have been moved out of your way, and now you're kind of in this state where it may be a little uncomfortable, but you've been cleared. New territory is available to you. You are ready to step into new territory. Not always comfortable, but newness and divine, almost like divine intervention. This is Father's Day week, the 15th to the 1st. I've got the 6 of Pentacles here, and it looks like she's very well received. 6 of Pentacles is often when we're like giving money to others or receiving money. There's some kind of financial transaction going on, but it could just be that there's value transaction to spending time together. We know that Venus is right across from you this month. So definitely get out and about, socialize that week. 22nd through 28th, 9 of Cups, the Make-A-Wish card. She's sitting on the beach. How joyful, okay? Here's your third beach implication. So the 22nd to the 28th looks really wonderful. Now the 29th, which goes into the 4th of July week, and there was 2 cards that just wanted to show up. The first one is the 10 of Wands, so you see a lot of burden being carried. But the second one is the 4 of Swords. and it shows rest. So make sure that you're putting down some burden and getting the rest that you need that holiday week. All right. That also could be if like you're the one that always like hosts or has a lot of plans. Maybe this year you don't. Maybe you take that downtime. All right, so let's roll some dice, see what we got going on here. And we rolled Mercury in the sign of Gemini in the 11th house. So Mercury's the communicator. Mercury rules the delivery of information. It also rules roadways and pathways. So, and interesting how there's that pathway right there. So it could be travel. It can be that you speak up for yourself. It's in its own sign of Gemini, so it functions at its best there. Second best, it does better in Virgo. So it's home. So maybe you are doing some local travel. Maybe you are speaking up for yourself clearly in the 11th house, which is the house of large groups of people. It's Aquarius's house. It rules friends and it rules new ideas. So I really see you mixing something up, not doing the same norm that you do every June. I think if there's a trip you're taking, you're going to switch it up a little bit, but I do get vibes of staying local. Okay, but maybe planning a trip because we have the Sag full moon this month and that's a great time to be planning. All right, I'm going to get my bowl of charms and my big punch bowl of charms here. Have fun with this part. And please comment. Please let me know what you see. If you enjoy the charm, always love to hear some feedback. Okay, let me flip over some of these letters, see what we've got going on here. My Scrabble letters, got a blank one there, so I see the word rock, R-O-C-K, the word rake, rut. I see my initials, Regina Olson. Rue, which is a plant, protective plant. What else? Okay, that's all. Oh, there's a couple more letters over here, an L and an O. Okay, so we've got the word look, took. Anything else? Okay. Make the word fork also, like a fork in the road. All right, so let's start up at the top here. We have the sun landed on June's hint. Over on the side, what is this little thing? Looks like an apple. Yep, an apple over there. Kids are getting out of school. We just think of an apple, think of teachers. K on the third, an O on the fourth, along with, I don't know how to say that, what the symbol is, but it's an Egyptian symbol there on the fourth. Now, on the ninth, we have the letter R and A. Oh, we also have the word arc. 13th, you have a fairy along with a Mother Mary symbol. On the 16th, we've got some prayer hands here. A lot going on the 17th. Now, this is a dragon's head. And it's funny because this almost looks to me like something you'd see on the front of a Viking ship. And then you've got a boat. And then you've got an anchor and a book. Okay, so I don't know if you're going out in a boat. It's interesting vibes there. So a lot of energy on the 17th, even the 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, the letter U on the 18th, the 19th, you've got a snake. Over on the side, you've got your little Monopoly guy on a horse jockey there. Purple heart over on the side also. On the 23rd, you have another picture of Mother Mary. And the 24th, you've got a moose. Now, remember I said the luckiest days were really the 25th, but a little bit into the 24th, a little bit into the 26th. You've got a lot of energy on the 24th, okay? You've got a piano. You've got a little tag that says one tree planted. A feather, some dog tags, and this is like a cross. Okay, so there's a lot going on there on the 24th, so make great use of that energy. On the last week, so this would be the 1st of July, you've got like a sword, and you've also got a pin here that says votes for women, talking about queens, and in the back of it, what is stuck in there? There is something stuck inside that pin, and it looks like it's another dragon. Okay, that's your second reference to dragons. And on the 2nd of July, you've got a piece of hematite, a blank letter, and a T. So that could be it, at, to, but a lot of energy there in the 1st, the 2nd. The 3rd, you have the royalty symbol, and the 4th of July. This little charm here, but it almost looks like an island to me, or maybe an atoll. Okay, so I get a lot of vacation vibes. I get a lot of like alone time vibes. I get, let's see the word ant. I get the feeling that you really need a break, but you're coming through a hard time, but you're coming into your power, and I really think things are going to be okay as I see the word okay. All right, let me give you some power dates for the month of June. So, first of all, the moon will be in your own sign of Scorpio starting on Friday, June 6th at 10:23 p.m. It stays there Saturday the 7th and Sunday the 8th, and it goes into Monday the 9th until 10:56 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You rolled Mercury and you rolled Aquarius. So we know the moon will be in Aquarius starting on Saturday the 14th at 7 a.m. through Sunday, Father's Day, through Monday until 2:09 p.m. And you get some more bonus days. You get when the moon is in Gemini, which is Sunday, June 22nd. 10:57 p.m. through Monday the 23rd, Tuesday the 24th until 11:44 p.m. And you get one more day. I'm pretty much getting the whole month here. And it's when the moon moves into Virgo. Well, we know it's going to be there on the 30th, okay? Actually, the 29th at 7:44 a.m. into Tuesday the 1st until 5:16 p.m. Let's just see if it was in Virgo in the beginning of the month. Yes, we kind of begin and end the month with the moon in Virgo. So on the 1st, June 1st, 11 p.m., the moon goes into Virgo. It stays there the 2nd and the 3rd and the 4th until 9:38 a.m. These are power times for you, Scorpio. Have a great month.